live from Dallas, Texas. Find us online at photoboothinternational.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Photo Booth International podcast. We're really excited that you guys joined us today. I'm Josh, and for the first podcast here, we're going to be doing a replay of one of our webinars that we did. It has a lot of great information. If you guys have any questions about the business or the industry, feel free to reach us at support@photobootint.com.
We'd like to welcome you guys for tuning in with us, taking out of your precious time to be with us. We're going to be doing a monthly series every month. Tonight is going to be about the starting how you start your business, get your business going, the initial things that you want to do to get your photo booth business going. Those are things that we want to cover tonight. We want to make sure we help you lay a foundation. We get you going, get you a launching pad going with your business, and we launch you into success the best way possible. So we want you to feel free to ask us anything. It's open for anything. We want to keep it with startup questions. Those of you that have questions about your startup, you're about to start, or you've been going for a short time, and you have questions that you want to have answered, we like to deal with those tonight about the startup. Also, keep an eye on your email inbox for future updates, as we'll be sending you information about things that are going on with the company, new information that's coming in. You want to stay current so that you can stay ahead of the pack. Also, click on the small squares on the top right to submit your question. There's some small squares. Click those squares. Some of you already have found it, but click those top squares when you have questions and submit your questions there.
Okay, guys. Well, we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about our background and how we started. So I started this company in 2012 in December, and we built our first photo booth. We went to Home Depot, spent a couple $100s. We built our first photo booth out of wood, and we did our first event on December 6th of 2012, if I remember correctly. So from there, we expanded. 2013, in March, we bought 2 more booths, and we've just been growing ever since. And now we service over 700 events a year, and Fortune 500 companies, corporate events, baby showers, you name it. So like I said before, we have a lot of experience, and through these webinars, our objective is to share all the information that we have with you guys, whether you purchase a booth from us or not. So we love you guys that much. All right, so some of the stuff that we do here at Photo Booth Dallas, which is our rental side of the business, is we do karaoke, DJ, photo booth, uplighting, green screen. We have a social kiosk, Instagram print station. So we have a lot of different services, and I think that that goes a long way if you're trying to stay competitive in the marketplace. Offering just one type of service, it's okay, but to have that cutting edge, which is what you need in the competitive market right now, you need to be able to have that package deal. It makes it a lot easier whenever the person who's planning the event calls in, and they can check off the list. Okay, I got the DJ, I got the photo booth, I got the uplights, and so if you get a package deal, it creates more value for them, and it's also going to have your company looking a lot more better than your competitors because you're going to offer more value. It's all about offering value. When you can have a package deal and they see they're getting more, such as DJ, photo booth, and uplighting, then they're going to most likely go with your company versus another company. So it's all about creating value. You want to make sure you're creating value whenever you speak to your clients and letting them know, hey, I'm going to throw in this, or I'm going to add a scrapbook or some kind of upgrade or something extra just to kind of give them the kick. And that's what really works really good with us. Okay, and once again, if you guys have any questions on the top right corner, just make sure to click the squares and submit your questions. You can ask us anything. We're willing to share everything with you guys. All right, so we're going to get right into it today. We are going to start from the ground up. And what I mean by that is if you just purchased a photo booth from us, we're kind of going to start from there. So some of the stuff may be redundant to you guys, or you're already getting set up. But we're just going to start from the ground up and go. That way, if any of you are new to the business or have just purchased a photo booth from us or from someone else, then you have a direction in where you need to go. Okay, so the first bullet point that I have here is setting up your business. You definitely want to go with the LLC just to provide the extra protection. So what I mean by that, from my experience, when we've talked to people and lawyers, they said that if you're at an event and somebody's there, kid or whatever the case is, someone is drunk and the booth falls over on them, all right, you could get a lawsuit out of that. And if you don't have an LLC set up properly, they could come at you personally and take your personal possessions. So you definitely want to have an LLC set up. You can go onto Thumbtack or go onto Yelp and find a good lawyer. And this is just general advice, from our experience. So you definitely want to get a lawyer in your city or your state, talk to them about the type of business that you do, let them know your risk exposure, which means you're exposed to risk whenever you're driving to your event. You have your equipment in the car whenever you get to the event. And most stuff, you'll need to have that set up in order to get your insurance as well. So the first step is find a good lawyer, develop a good relationship. You are going to need your lawyer throughout your business career. It's not just going to be for right now, whatever you evolve into, whether it's different services or you get an event hall or venue or something like that. You definitely want to have a good lawyer on your side that's going to understand your business and be with you from the beginning. Okay, the next one that I have here is going to be insurance. You're not sure about insurance. It's always a good gesture to have insurance. We have State Farm. We called them up, told them what we do, and they gave us a really reasonable quote that protects a lot of us, especially some of the higher end venues. They are going to require a copy of your insurance, as well as some corporate clients. They will ask for a copy of your insurance. And I think usually the minimum is $1 million liability coverage is a good start on that. You guys have anything to add?
Yeah, I would add that that's actually a really important part of the equation. You need to have your insurance company prepared and lined up, because your more sophisticated clients, I'm not talking about your birthdays or your quinceañeras, but if you get a gig from Dorito or Facebook like we do, or even an event facility that is a professional wedding facility, for example, they're going to have insurance requirements that will require you to have an insurance background. Just be prepared for that. Call up a State Farm agent or your own agent and let them know what you're doing. The cost is very minimal to get a very large coverage of insurance. So just give your agent a call.
All right. Yeah, anything to add to that?
I think you guys covered the basics.
Okay. All right, moving on. So the next key person that you need in order to set up a successful business is going to be a good CPA, certified personal accountant. Once again, go on to Yelp, go on to Google, even Thumbtack, is good for that, and check the reviews. And so whenever you're hiring your lawyer, your insurance agent, and your CPA, you want to go in and you want to meet them. You want to sit down. They should be able to take some time out of their day and sit down with you, go in there, talk to them, explain their business, and see how they comprehend what you do. Make sure they understand your business. Okay. Before we found our accountant, we interviewed 3 or 4 people. Whenever we go there, the feeling how accessible he is to questions, what is his response time, and just how much free information he's going to give to you. If you have a question and you give him a call, is he going to bill you for that, or will he just answer your question since you're a good client? You definitely want to interview these people before you go into an engagement with them. And once you have them, get them in the beginning and get the right people, and they'll stay with you throughout your business career. Right? And so I got some questions in here. We're just going to go to the questions real quick here from Candy. All right, Candy says, do you have a contract for renting a photo booth? If so, what do you have on it? We do have a contract, Candy, in our member area. If you are a client of ours, you do have access to our business contracts. You can log into the member area. If you need the password, just email your sales rep and they'll give you the password. And you can download the same contract that we use for our clients. Okay, it's a 4-page contract, and it covers everything that we've learned throughout the 4 years we've been in business. So every time we have a change, or something else came up, we always edit the contract. So when you download our contract from our member area, you always want to make sure to keep it updated. So if you run into any issues along the way, go back in there. It's a Word version, so you can go in there and edit it. Do you have something to add?
Yeah, if you don't mind me adding to that. Candy, you asked the question, what's included in that contract. Our contract, as yours should be, includes liability protection, all of the considerations that might arise at an event that you and I might not think of on the front end, but that a lawyer would. So trip and fall, lawsuit coverage. It also is a great informational gathering tool to minimize the headache of chasing down the client. So you get a client who wants to hire you for their services. It has the right questions for them to fill in, such as what's the venue look like? Where is the parking at the venue? How many people are going to be involved? Who's the contact at the venue? And it also captures their desire for graphics. Everybody doing an event, your software, if it's as good as ours, will allow you to tailor the event, obviously. So if it's a birthday, the printout say birthday, and you can add their names and pictures of the event or however you want to format it. But basically, the contract that we use includes not only all the liability coverage, but the information needed to create the template so that their background and printouts fit the event and fit their personalized style and their graphics. So that's a short overview of what our contract includes, but it's much more thorough than that. And for those of you who are clients of ours, if you have not downloaded that contract yet or don't know that it exists there, please do use it because it's been vetted by lawyers and it's perfectly suited for what you're trying to do as a rental company.
Okay. All right, guys. So once again, the contract is in our member area. It's a 4-page contract. It does come with your purchase. Candy, I'll email you the password after we get off the webinar. And we basically developed it over the years. Every time something came up, we went back to the contract, we added it on there. So you're gonna have to customize the contract to your business. So make sure to download it. You can add your logo on there, insert your company name, and just make sure to read over it. Okay, and we are constantly updating that contract as we update ours as well. All right, so good question, Candy. Thank you very much. If you guys have any more questions, top right corner right up here, click on the squares and go to Q&A, and we'll get your question answered. All right, the next question we have is from Alan Burnett.
Hey,
Thank
Alan,
you for.
how you doing? Congratulations on your new purchase.
Alan just purchased a VIP booth from us. He's operating here in Dallas as well. So thank you very much for your purchase, Alan. Welcome to the family. And so a recommended insurance company to go with. The one we recommend is State Farm. I have a really great relationship to a State Farm agent that's down the street from here. I called him up. Any type of problems I ever had. I've had a vehicle stolen, somebody break into a vehicle. Anytime a certain client that I'm working with needs a change to our contract or needs additional verification, they're just a phone call away, and they're really good. And you want to have that relationship with someone locally if you can, because you want to be able to hold them liable, right? If they don't pick up the call, if they don't get back to you in a timely fashion, and you lose your sale, and you can hold them liable. And that's one thing that I really like. I like to have a good relationship face to face with the people who I work with and who I give business to as well. All right, so that's going to take care of those questions we have. Once again, if you have any more questions, top right corner, and we'll get you taken care of. Okay, so next one of our services that we want to recommend, and this is where we're getting into the details, so get out your pen and paper right now. The first one we're going to go to is logo and website. Okay, so we did cover lawyer, insurance, CPA. All right, the tripod stand for your business. Okay, so the logo and website. You can take a look at Wix.com. Okay, it's Wix.com. and you can get a website made there. They have some templates pre-made already, and you have to design them yourself, right? Or the other option is you can definitely reach out to us. We do web design here, and it's just basically, how you want your website to look. Our web design, you get a 5-page website, and it'll be customized to however you want it. So there's 2 options for you. You can go to Wix.com, or you can reach out to us, and we'll be able to get a website done for you. Okay, we have custom websites. We can embed your PayPal code, any type of widgets, calendar, however you want it to look. We have a lot of experience with web design. We've designed over 400 websites and counting. So we have a lot of experience with that. All right, the other website I do want to mention is Fiverr. And if you guys are writing this down, it's Fiverr.com. So it's Fiverr.com. Okay. It's a really good website for services that you need. You can get any type of logo done. You can get a graphic, a flyer, business card made. Now, whenever you go onto Fiverr, a couple of things to note. Whenever you go onto Fiverr and you search for a service, so let's say if you're searching for a design service for a business card, so you can go into the search box and search for that type of service. Once you do that, you want to sort by the highest rating, okay? So once you sort by the highest rating, you want to go through the listings that come up. Make sure you look at the past work and make sure you look at the reviews, okay? It's all about reviews. You want to make sure that the seller that you purchase from is going to be able to deliver onto your work, okay? And so you can do that by looking at the reviews and looking at his past work. You can also send him a message. Okay, it's Fiverr.com. There's a lot of other services that are on there, and if you use them properly, you can be really successful with that website. Excuse me.
I wanted to step in and say this concerning Josh, is that one thing about Josh, when he recommends something, it's definitely the top companies that he's recommending that can get the job done, that are most current, that are most relevant. So you have to understand who you're talking to and the mind frame that he's in. He's going to make sure he gets you the best. You have the best capabilities. At whatever situation he puts you in, he's going to make sure you have the best connections, the best attachment, the best network. So you got to take these things seriously. If you mention in the website, go there, check it out. It will work for you. These are not things that we're just coming up with off the top of our head, but these are proven things that have made him successful, made this company successful, and we want you to be successful as well.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Damien. So once again, guys, those 2 websites, Wix.com and Fiverr.com. Okay. There's a lot of different services. Use it effectively. Check out the reviews and contact the seller. Send them a message. Tell them what you're trying to accomplish. Be detailed whenever if you tell them, I need a logo for my photo booth business. I want it to be red and black. Okay. That's not going to be really helpful for them. It's going to take you longer. You're going to get frustrated. Be really detailed. I want a red and black logo. I want the skyline, and be really detailed, and you will have a lot of success. And there's a lot of other services on there. When I first found the site, I got really carried away, and I spent a lot of money. So just be careful. Hold yourself back, and ask yourself, do you really need it? Okay. Part of being wealthy and running a successful business is controlling your expenses. All right. We got a few questions in here. Let's see. Okay, so from Jeffrey, hey Jeffrey, how you doing? Will this webinar be saved to your YouTube channel? Yes, it will. We will be recording this webinar, and it'll be available for our clients only for replay. And we'll be sending an email out, and it would be inside the member area as well. All right, thank you for tuning in. Okay. So Alan Burnett asked another question. Can you provide some basic information needed for brochures, such as specs, what makes Photo Booth INT Photo Booths different from everyone else? Okay. So our brochures, you want to grab the brochure from up here? It's on the wall. All right. So the brochures, whenever you're making your brochures, trifold brochures, you probably want to go onto Fiverr and get a designer to make them for you. If you need a copy of our brochures for the one that we use for our rental business, send an email over to your sales rep, and they'll be able to get you a copy of that. We just actually redesigned our brochures now because we had some from whenever we first started. So you want to keep them updated. But in the brochures, you want to make sure you have a picture of your photo booth, some sample photos, and you don't want to put your pricing because it's always better to have them give you a call, because usually pricing is going to vary depending on distance, event length, season, and just a lot of different variables. So we don't ever put pricing on our website or any of our materials. So this is a sample of our brochure right here. And so we have our logo, we got a picture from an event, we got our contact information, more contact information on the front side. Okay, on the inside, we have all of the different photo booths that we offer. Okay, and we have cancel anytime, HD pictures, lightning fast setup, fully customized options. Okay, on the other side here, how does your booth work? Can I afford this? Additional services. Okay, so whenever people grab the brochure, they know exactly what it is, what we do. They open it up, they see all of our photo booths right there. That's all the information we need, right? We all know people have short attention spans, and we want to make sure to convey the message across to them as soon as possible. Okay, in the center, we have some sample pictures. We got an award for Thumbtack. We put that on there. In the bottom right, we have some of our social links and combo photos, combo deals here in the bottom middle. Okay, and then on the back, of course, our client list, which is really extensive. And once you start growing your business, you can add on to that. And then we got on here approved by a local school district. That's also another thing. Contact your local school district. Here in Dallas, the major one is DISD, which is Dallas Independent School District. And they're the largest ones. They give us a lot of business because we are on their approved vendor list. So you want to contact school district, how you can get on their vendor list. Okay. Did you guys have something to add? No. Okay.
You're good.
All right. And what makes our photo booths different from everyone else? Well, it's really easy to use. You got the social uploads. You have something to add?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you're going to have the lifetime tech support. We're giving you guys, these webinars. We offer a lot of value, more than just selling you the photo booth. We have a lot of additional features, which you can check out on our homepage, photoboothint.com. We're not going to get into that. That will be another webinar, but you can check that out. So thanks for your question, Alan. Keep the questions coming on the top right corner. We are going to answer all of them tonight. All right. And the next one we have here, I don't know who this is from, but what is the best way to market your photo booth business? Okay. So do we have that on here?
Yeah, I think we're actually going to get into that.
One of the questions. Okay. Somebody did answer that. Somebody did ask that question earlier, and we are going to get to that a little bit later. I'm going to go ahead and finish what I have written down here. So just hang tight on that question. All right. So the last thing we touched on was Wix.com and Fiverr.com. Okay. So Wix for your website, you can have a website set up really quickly, or you can contact us. We do custom website designs on our server, and we can use our pictures, our content. We come up with all of that for you. Okay, or Fiverr.com, you can get different services from there. Just make sure to read the reviews, contact the seller, make sure he knows exactly what he's designing and that he has the time available. Sometimes these guys get a lot of business and they don't meet their deadline. The other good thing is if you do place an order through Fiverr and they do not deliver, or it's not to your expectations, you do get a chance to get your money back as well. So there's a lot less chance of you getting scammed or ripped off. So they want to make sure Fiverr's been so successful because they do offer that money back guarantee for their users. All right, the next thing we're going to cover is working out of your house or an office. And the tax deductions associated with that. So you do have two options. We started out from my house. We had a room that was an office. We had 2 desks in there. We had 1 photo booth. As we grew, we got a storage unit where we kept the photo booths. Then we have 2 storage units. Then we had 3 storage units. And then it just kept getting really difficult to manage all the keys for the storage unit. So we moved into an office after that. But, start slowly and surely and just be really dedicated and focused on your business. And we'll give you all the information you need. Just follow our steps and you can be successful too.
Do you mind if I throw something
Yeah.
in there? So what we wanted to address here and make sure that we emphasize is that you can start out of your home. And there is a tax advantage to doing that. Whatever you pay in rent, whatever you pay in electric, whatever you pay in utilities, whatever you pay in insurance, if you dedicate 30% of your house to your photo booth business, then you can take 30% of all of those costs as a tax deduction. So until you need additional office and warehouse space like we need, there is a lot of logic to working out of your house, and just don't overlook the ability to take those tax deductions. This comes back to working with a good CPA. Any good CPA should be able to recommend that to you and explain it to you, but that's the short version of it.
Okay. Once again, control your expenses. Okay. Don't go out and get an office and do all of that. Do one thing at a time, get focused, bring the cash flow in, make sure you're building up your brand, and you're booking events. Okay. Sales will cure everything. So make sure you're focused on selling. That's the most important thing in the business, is selling. All right. And once again, guys, if you have any questions, hit the square boxes in the top right corner. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. All right. The next one we have on here is flyers and business cards. Okay. So it's important right in the beginning, get a good logo. You can go to Fiverr.com, get your logo designed on there. Make sure you're happy with it, because this is going to stick with you, till the end, if it ever ends, or you pass it on. So the logo that we designed, as you can see in the back corner right there, the Dallas skyline, and it says Photo Booth Dallas. It's what it is. It's where it is. There's nothing more to it. When they see the logo, okay, this is what they do. This is where they do it. So keep that in mind whenever you're designing a logo. Don't put a picture of a guitar or, kissy lips or a heart or anything like that. Because your logo is what people are going to see, what they're going to remember. When people see that red logo of the city on there, they remember, hey, this is Photo Booth Dallas. This is what they do. This is where they do it. All right. And once again, you can get that done on Fiverr.com. And so the next one that we got here is going to be your CRM. So the CRM is going to be your customer relationship management tool. Okay, this is really, really important in order to keep your whole business together. And we are going to bring one of the companies to one of our webinars in the future to kind of go into details about how to use it. But why this tool is so important. So what a CRM does is it holds all of your leads and it manages your contacts. So for example, the way we use it here, we get a lead in, let's say if it's for December 15th from John Smith. So once we get a lead in from our website, it goes into the CRM and it creates a profile for John Smith. Okay. Then one of our sales reps reaches out to them and calls them, goes over the pricing, the services, and sends them an email. Okay. Once that's done, they'll put a note in the system and put a follow-up reminder to follow up with this client in 3 days. Also, some CRM systems send automatic emails. So the way we have ours set up too is every 2nd, 6th, and 10th day, they get an automatic email saying, hey, are you still interested in booking with us? They're still looking for a photo booth. And some of the ones that are out there as well is also going to manage your bookkeeping, integrate with your calendar, tie in with your PayPal. You can send invoices. So all those services, if you can combine all of those into one program or one software where you get up in the morning and you log into this one program and it manages your whole business, it makes it a lot easier. So the ones that we recommend right now and that we've heard a lot of good things about is Zoho.com, which is Zoho.com, Zoho.com. And the other one that we recommend as well is 17 Hats. Some of you may have heard it. It's getting really popular right now, and it has a lot of features that we really like, and it integrates with a lot of different features such as Google Calendar, PayPal, bookkeeping, and all that good stuff. Okay, and we are going to cover this in a webinar later on down the line. But just for right now, you guys can take a look and see which ones you really like. The last one we have on here is Pixify. We've heard about this from another company. You guys can check that out as well. And we've heard lots of good things about it. Do you have something to add? Okay. All right. So moving right along, the other tool that we use is Google Calendar. Okay, it's a really great tool to schedule your events because it syncs up with all of your devices. It sends you an alert, and actually now on the new iPhone, it even tells you how far your event is, and it tells you when you need to leave to be there on time. Okay, when you go into your events, you want to make sure you give yourself an hour and a half to 2 hour window, just to make sure that if there is a problem that comes up, you're able to go and get it resolved, or get the tools that you need, or the plug, or if you're missing something, you can go and grab it. So if you give yourself enough time to solve the issue, then you have a really great event. Okay, so that's Google Calendar. And the way we use it here is we schedule the events on the calendar, which is shared by everybody. You can control your sharing settings, so you can share with everybody in your organization, including your employees if you do have any. You can also invite your employees to the event, which will give them their event start time, the name of the client, the address, how long it'll take them to go there. And they can actually, once they get the invite on their phone, they can click on the address. It'll give them directions right away. So it's a really good tool. We use that all the time. Everything, it syncs up on all devices. And it's also tied in with your Gmail account. So if you're using Gmail, you do already have access to that. It's a free tool. And Zoho and 17 Hats, I'm not sure if Pixify does, but they do also integrate with that calendar as well. All right. Do you have something to say? No? Okay. All right. So we got some questions in. We're going to go to the questions real quickly here. All right. All right. So the question about where's the best place to advertise, we are going to get to that. I'm saving that for the end. I know that's what everybody wants. So that'll be coming up. All right. Okay, so we're going to get back to those questions. All right, so the last bullet point that I have here for this section is don't spend money on swag. So what that means is one of Mark Cuban's top 10 rules is don't spend money on swag. You don't need hats or glasses that are branded, or pens or stuff like that. You can get a good shirt made with your logo embroidered that you can wear to your events. That's fine, but don't spend money on additional swag that you don't need. That's not going to help. Put the money right now into growing your business, into marketing. Like I said, Mark Cuban's top 10 rules, one of them is don't spend money on swag, and it's worked out really good for me. Brochures, business cards, that kind of stuff is okay, but any type of swag, don't worry about it right now. Focus on growing your business and keeping your expenses low. All right? And that's going to bring us to our next section. If you guys have any questions, top right corner, you can submit your questions. All right, so we're going to talk about, now that we've talked about your lawyer, insurance, taxes, website, tax deductions, storage units, business cards, your CRM, Google Calendar, and swag, we're going to talk about buying a photo booth and what type of booth you should look for whenever you purchasing a booth. So, Will, I'm going to hand it off to you.
Well, so I guess the most common question that we get is DSLR versus webcam. Should I invest in a DSLR, or is the high-def webcam camera that's common in photo booths sufficient? My response to that is that DSLR has its advantages. If you are interested in pixelization, you're going to make prints that are physically very large, then DSLR is an important part and a necessity for that. Additionally, if you are interested in slow motion video as one of the features of your booth, or video features of a photo booth, DSLR becomes a necessity, a necessary component. For 99.9% of the events that we do as a rental company, the 1080 high def cam that comes standard in all of our booths and should be in your booth is more than sufficient, because the application is a 4x6 printout or 2x3 printouts, and as large as they ever get is that big. Right. And therefore the high def 1080 is perfect. It comes out in a glossy photo that's true photo quality, and it really is all that you need, unless you are a real photophile and are going to get into the higher end applications of green screen pixelization and video use in the photo booth. And the other slight complication or concern with DSLR is the potential for errors. So we all know a DSLR camera, if you've ever looked at one, there's 250,000 ways that you can adjust it. Well, that's 250,000 things that can go wrong at an event. And especially as you grow your company, if you're bringing on staff, one of the most critical things is to keep it simple, because you have a staffer who's out on a job that you're not there. And if they accidentally bump the camera and reset a setting or malaffect a setting, then you've got a bit of a situation on your hand that they can't deal with. So for all those reasons, really high def 1080 camera is sufficient for 99% of your events. Unless you want to get more complicated, the DSLR is your best option, and we do fully support it, and we can help you understand it and train on it. Just want to caution you that it has its advantages and it also has some disadvantages.
All right, guys. So just to recap, DSLR versus webcam. Okay, both have their pros and cons. We are now supporting both of them. So either way, it's really up to you. If you're already a photographer and you know how to use it, then that's a perfect option for you. Starting off with the webcam is a good option as well, and then going on to a DSLR, which is great. Will brought up a great point about employees, training employees. That is one of the hardest, the challenges in this business. We have over 20 employees and contractors that we work with here every weekend, and training all of them and bringing them in for sessions and keeping everything simple is really, really important. So that's something to keep in mind whenever as you grow your business, is keeping things simple. Like I said, both have their arguments on either side. Both of them are great. So we do offer both of those as well. All right, so the next one we got is build or buy. So we started off, we built our photo booth. Like I said, 2012, we went to Home Depot, put some wood together. How did it look? It didn't look that great. Did we have the money to buy one? No, we didn't. There wasn't actually any financing back then for this, not that we've heard of. But we built our first one. It was a big wooden box, and we still have it in the office. And it weighed like 70 pounds, and it was really extremely heavy. And we had to navigate it on top of a tripod stand. And we used a laptop with a keyboard and an inkjet printer. And so that's to kind of give you the background on how that started. So, it could only hold 50 pictures at one time, and the ink was really expensive. So you do have different options. You can build or you can buy. If you do go with the build way, you are going to run into some problems that you're going to have to learn, that can only come with experience from you being at a gig and understanding, what the clients want, what they need, and what type of equipment will be better suited for the type of events that you're doing. So it is going to take you, if you go with the build option, it is going to take you a lot of time of trial and error, and it just comes down to having the time. You want to spend the time learning this for yourself, or you can cut your time down and be successful by purchasing from us.
I'd like to add something there. While you can build your own booth, those of us who are serious about building a professional business, unless you are a true cabinet maker or a true craftsman, building a booth that is finished out to look professional and well-made and polished is very, very difficult to do. Not to mention the operational issues that can arise. There are distinct advantages to buying a booth that is completely fabricated, completely finished, custom made for you. It's made by people who know what they're doing, who have years in the business. and it's fault-proof, idiot-proof. It looks good at an event. It shows well. It represents you and your company well. So yes, I'm in sales, and I have a bit of a bias, but I am strongly encouraging you, unless budget is just a major, major issue for you, consider buying a finished booth as your first booth, at the very least, if you want to get in this business. And by the way, we do have great financing options. We've got great financing partners. If upfront money is an issue for you, give us a call and talk to us, because we do probably 80% of our business through our financing partners because they're so easy to work with.
All right. And whenever you're starting a business, your chances of success are minimal. And you can increase those chances by purchasing one from us or another company, instead of taking the time to figure it out on yourself, on your own, and lessen those chances of being successful. Like I said, with our products, you do get the full package turnkey products, access to the member area,
lifetime tech support.
Lifetime tech support, and we really take care of you. And our goal here is to make sure you're successful and you purchase another photo booth from us. That's our goal here. So those are the buy or the build. We can argue both sides. I got a question here from Alpine Entertainment. Shout out to Alpine. Thank you for joining us. He said, I built mine 3 already, so it depends on your skills. It definitely does. No doubt about it. If you're a skilled person and that's the route that you want to go, then it's definitely a good option. It's going to depend on the skills, the money, your marketing budget, just different factors for everybody. But we just thought you guys should understand both sides of the story, and you want to have the best odds of being successful in this business, and that's what we're going to provide to you. We're going to increase those odds for you. Okay, the last one we have on here is software. So we have 3 different softwares right now that we are partnered up with. We have Spark Booth, which we actually started off with whenever we started our photo booth company in 2012. And we've been with them ever since. It's really great. I never had any type of crash or freeze or anything like that. And that's why we love them. It's what we started with. They're great. We have another one here, which is Photo Booth Solutions, which is great for green screen. And the software with them is Social Booth. Okay, so it's it's Social Booth by Photo Booth Solutions, and they have a great software. The green screen works really good, especially with the webcam. The webcam green screen in Social Booth works fantastically. We do a lot of green screen events with that software. It integrates really well, and all these softwares, they do really good updates every week. And so the software is currently being updated all the time, and you're getting new features, new updates, and they keeping up with the trends that are happening in the industry, because we all know it's growing really fast. Right.
Can I add something to that? Part of the reason that we love these software companies and continue to use them is their depth of support. What we do well is provide you with complete technical support, and we partner with software companies that also have great technical support, because it's all about not being embarrassed at an event. So if you have any type of error that arises or any type of problem that arises, it's very important to be able to resolve it quickly. And if you purchase a booth from us, you're able to call us no matter what time, day or night. You're able to call us and use our ticketing system to get a resolution to your answer on the fly. Additionally, these software companies have great depth of support in their training and their videos, their how-to areas. So that's why we feel really comfortable partnering with them and recommending them to you.
Okay, and we also provide the support, and you can reach out to us, you can reach out to them directly. They provide great support. We work very closely with all of the manufacturers. The last one that we have on here is Darkroom Software, Darkroom Booth. You guys probably know about them or heard about them. It's a great software as well. They're down the street from us, and we may have them join us in one of the webinars going forward to talk a little bit more in depth about Darkroom. So those are the 3 softwares that we have, and we offer, and you can download a trial copy on our website. If you're looking to purchase a booth, or if you're looking to switch softwares, you can go to our website and download a trial copy, or go to their website, sparkbooth.com, photoboothsolutions.com, or darkroom.com. Okay, and that one is going to be the Darkroom Booth 2, which is a new software that they came out with. So those are the three softwares that we support and provide. And whenever you purchase a booth from us or any of our products, you do get the choice of which software you want on it. All right. And we've got a question here from Jeffrey again. He's asking about the 2x4 strips. Do you guys currently cut those in half or give the entire paper to the guest? So with the printer does cut the strips for you, Jeffrey. There is instructions in our member area on how to cut the strips in half. It's within your printer settings. You're going to go to printers and devices, right click on your printer, go to preferences, and go all the way down to 2-inch cut. You're going to enable it or disable it. Okay. There's instructions in our member area. And if you have further questions, feel free to reach out to us and we'll be able to assist you with that. Okay. We've got another question here from Kevin Johnson. He's asking us about Darkroom. What do we think about Darkroom? Okay, so we work with all three software providers, and we don't want to pick our favorite because they're all great. They all have their different features. They all have different support. So that's where I'm going to leave that because some of them may be tuned in right now. And
none of them pay us, by the way. We don't make any money from it.
So we don't want to pick. What do we think about Darkroom? We think it's good. They have great support. And they're the industry standard. There's a lot of people who, use them and vouch for them. Like I said, we provide 3 different options to our customers. And we suggest you download the software, try it out for yourself, and figure out which one you like, right? Because they all do the same thing. They take a picture with the camera, and the differences are going to be the interface, maybe a few features, and how well you can use it. So it's really how much you like it and how easy it's going to be for you to navigate through the different settings. So you want to take your time, download all 3. There's a 30-day trial, and kind of figure it out which one you like the best. But we couldn't pick one over the other. Like I said, we like all of them, and we're really good friends with all of their manufacturers. All right, thank you for that question. Guys, if you have any question, top right corner, ask us anything that you would like. And wow, time's going by really quickly. So we do have some questions.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think this is a good time to get into the questions that people submitted beforehand?
Yep.
Yeah. We had asked anybody who had them to go ahead and send in some questions ahead of time. So we'll just walk through these one by one. Okay. So a question that arose during the actual webinar too. The reason that we delayed it is because it was asked beforehand, and we made it part of the presentation. And I'll let Josh take over because he's the real expert on it. But what's the best way to advertise is the essential question.
Okay, the best way to advertise. So this is what we've been all waiting for. All right, so the first one that I've heard a lot about, and everybody's doing really, really well, getting a lot of business. It's really reasonable for whenever you're starting off your business and don't have a big marketing budget, is going to be Thumbtack. Okay, so that's thumbtack.com. Okay, go on there, set up your profile. The way Thumbtack works is once you set up your profile, if I'm hosting an event and I go to Google and I type in photo booth for December, okay, one of the top ads that are going to be there is going to be from Thumbtack. Thumbtack is backed up by Google, which is funded by Google, and so they have really good advertising opportunities, which means that they're on top of all the search engines. Okay, so what that means for you is all the traffic from everybody searching for a service that you provide is going to go to Thumbtack first. Okay, so you go, if I'm looking for an event, if I'm looking for a photo booth for my event, I'm going to go to Thumbtack. I'm going to type in, I need a photo booth for December 15th. And this is my budget, or whatever the case is. Answer all the questions, and then I'm going to get 5 quotes back. Okay. The response time is also critical. As Thumbtack will send you a notification via email and text message. The sooner you can get back to that person, the greater your chances are of getting that business. Okay. So Thumbtack is going to be the first choice that I recommend. there are going to be some low ballers, as they are everywhere, right? There's always going to be that. So take the business that you can get, bring the cash flow into your business. That's the most important thing. The sales is the most important thing. Bring the cash flow in so you can grow your business, okay? So you may have to do a couple of gigs for less than you wanted to, but you never know who's going to be at that event or who's going to refer you, or whether the marketing person is going to be there, or they know somebody at a company, whatever the case is. Every event is an opportunity for someone else to know about your business and how awesome it is and what a great job you do and what a great booth you have, which you bought from us. So thumbtack.com, okay, funded by Google. And actually, the other thing I forgot to cover is when I get my 5 quotes back, you have to pay a credit to send a quote to a client. So once you create your profile, make sure to answer all those questions that it asks you whenever you're creating your profile. Make sure to put up a lot of pictures. Ask your past clients to leave you a review on that. It's really simple to get a review, okay? So once you set up your profile, make sure it's looking stellar, okay? When I say stellar, make sure you got questions, answers, make sure you got pictures, make sure your profile is looking good, all right? And once you get the request for somebody looking for your service, you have to pay a credit in order to send a quote to them. All right, so you have to pay each time to send a quote. So you can screen the quote before you send it. You won't be able to see their information though. So thumbtack.com. All right, so the next one is going to be Google AdWords and AdWords Express. Okay, so Google AdWords is going to be a little bit more technical. So there's a lot of different features. There's remarketing, you got targeting, and you got all that mumbo jumbo. But if you take the time to learn all of that, it will be beneficial for you. Okay, Google does have they give you a free account manager who will train you on all those features, but you have to take the time to set up the calls with them and learn those features. Okay, so Google AdWords. The other one is AdWords Express. AdWords Express is a dulled-down version of Google AdWords, which will walk you through a setup wizard to get your ads onto Google. Okay, just because you have a website, you're not going to be on top of Google. So you have to use one of these 3 websites to get some revenue coming in. AdWords Express is really easy. You can have an ad set up in a couple of minutes. It'll suggest your keywords for you. You select your range and how far you want to advertise, and you hit submit, and they'll approve your ad, and you're up and running.
So in summary, it's Google AdWords for those, AdWords Express for those of us who are not technology proficient. And then Google AdWords is at the top of the hierarchy with the most sophisticated suite of tools. And then Thumbtack is arguably your favorite and the low cost option there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've just been getting a lot of feedback on Thumbtack from some of my clients and partners, and they're doing really well off of it. All right.
I had a good question, or rather, I'll take this question. We had a good one that was asked. The question was, how much income can I make with a single photo booth? So we talked about this and just did some quick math. The very simple answer is that if you did only 2 events per week and you made $500 at each event, which is very reasonable, then your annual income would be $54,000. Now, you can take that math and extrapolate it further. As we've done, we now have more than 10 booths in operation at any time and do 30 events per week, and that's after 3 years of growth. So you can see how the math adds up. And even with a single booth working very part-time, $54,000 a year of additional income is very reasonable. And the follow-up question to that was, how much prep time should I expect to spend for each event? And our answer to that is 1 to 2 hours per week. And that's going to be split between calling and working with the client who's hiring you and prepping the booth. And prepping the booth, at least our booths, when you buy them from us, it's as simple as checking the ink, firing up the booth, making sure the software is updated, and running through a dry run to make sure that everything is working. So 1 to 2 hours per week per event, 2 events a week is $54,000 a year. And then let's see, which one do we? I think I want to call out sensitivity to time. So let's choose the ones that we want to move on to. Let's see.
If you have any last minute questions, top right corner.
Yeah, this is a good time to ask them because we're going to wrap up for you shortly.
So we're coming to our 1 hour mark right
When
now.
we tackle this one, this is for the more sophisticated. So I'm going to jump in. So we got a question. How can we tap into the corporate market, which seems to be serviced by only a handful of photo activation companies? How do we reach the right people to get those national and corporate events? So this is a great question, and somebody who's asking it is thinking and thinking at a high level. So my immediate response is good thinking, but start at a reasonable place. Don't be like a sports agent who refuses to work with medium level talent and only wants to contract with superstars. The answer to the question is that you have to find the director of marketing or the head of marketing at the company that is hosting the activation of it. So Doritos has a new flavor of chips coming out. If you wanted to chase that business and try and earn that business, then you've got to find the director of marketing or the head of marketing at Doritos. That's very high hurdle to find. Or at the advertising agency that's already working for Doritos and is responsible for hiring the event staff. So you're going up the corporate ladder with either the advertising agency or the company itself is the answer to the question. But what I would like to point out is that there is a world of, well, I'll call them mid-level to small companies that are still companies that still have $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 budgets. And they are able for you to target, you're able to target these companies that are local to you. They all do trade shows. Every company on the planet that is trying to expand or trying to market their services goes to trade shows or expos. So don't overlook your local convention center or the local companies in your area that are still corporations and offer to partner with them. That's exactly how I came to Photo Booth. Actually, I have another company and we hired Josh and Photo Booth Dallas to go to Las Vegas with us for a trade show. And for 3 days work, we paid him $5,000 plus all expenses. And we ran up a good time there and had some good expenses. And so that's an example of the kind of business that you as an individual operator of a photo booth company can access. And we were simply a local company making goods and selling them at trade shows in the area. So my recommendation would be, while it's noble and desirable to go after that high-level corporate business, don't overlook the mid-level corporate business that's available to you and achievable. And then you get enough feathers on your belt, and you are suddenly more attractive. You've got more street credibility, more experience to market to those larger companies, and suddenly you're getting better audiences with bigger companies.
All right. So to summarize, don't look over the small companies to get to the big companies. And to be honest, I mean, they usually have a marketing firm or a PR agency that will reach out to you. And so it's also a matter of being there whenever that person at that agency is looking for a service like yours. And you're going to be there through Google AdWords or AdWords Express. But you do have to build up to that stage. You're not just going to get there overnight. You know, they're not going to just hire you without you having any experience. Once you get your experience, put those companies that you worked with on the website and move on from there. Right.
I think that one's a good one. The question is, how long before you were up and running? You want to take that answer? Okay, go ahead. Okay, so how long before you were up and running? So up and running, we started booking before we built our booth. So we built our booth in December 2012. We were advertising just before Thanksgiving. So we started advertising before that through Craigslist. There's still a lot of business on Craigslist, guys. Make sure you go on there, use the free advertising, any type of free advertising to cut down expenses, okay? Keeping expenses low is going to increase your success. So we started booking before we built our first booth. And 3 months after that, we started adding more booths. We started getting more staff, started hiring friends and family. It's a good place to start. It is risky to hire, a new face if you don't
know them or trust them, or they have the ability to carry your company brand at an event, just due to the type of events that we work, the drinking, texting their friends and all types. You don't want any of that, represented by your company. Right. Let me see. So we got some questions in real quick.
The add-on to that is that it took them 3 months before they needed to start adding staff, and they did $150,000 within the first year.
So first year we did 150,000. And that's with, I think there was only 3 or 4 booths, probably 3 booths in the first year. So it was a really good year. We stayed up late and we went in early and we worked, 90-hour weeks, and that's what you have to do. It's the same story through everybody who's been successful. You just got to stick with it, be persistent, and it'll work out. Make sure you're working smarter, not harder. All right, the question we got from Kurt Graham. How do you set your pricing? All right, that's a good question, Kurt, for all of you tuned in right now. So Kurt, how do we set our pricing? So the rule of thumb is 200 an hour is what we set our pricing for. It can go up from there, it can go down from there. If it's a corporate client who's calling in, it's more likely going to be 275, 300 an hour. Okay, and also depending on what type of service they're looking for. If it's somebody who's hosting a baby shower and there's only 20, 30 people there, it's going to be a little bit less. We don't ever disclose our pricing on our website due to all the different variables, but every person gets a custom quote after we've spoken to them. Some people will request a quote by email. You'll just have to take a shot in the dark on that. Look at their email address, see if you can Google them, look at the company, see their website to kind of give you some background on whether you're shooting too high or too low. So that's a good question, Kurt. Thank you for that. All right, let's see what we have here. Wesley. Hey, Wesley, thank you for joining us today. Where is the best place to get more green screen background and templates like Design a Glow? Green screen right now, we just go on Google. We just go Google and we type in, if somebody wants a desert background, we'll type in desert backgrounds, wallpaper, and go to the search options, go down to the image size and click large. Okay, if you're using softwares like Social Booth, it gives you the dimensions that you need on there. You may have to resize your image after you download them. So you have to use a third-party software to do that. You can use Pixlr, pixlr.com to resize your image. Other than that, I don't have anything as of right now, but we will add something into our member area as far as the green screen resources go. Right. So thank you for that question. And we do have one more here. Let me take a look. Okay. So the last question that we're going to get to today is marketing on Facebook seems to be an efficient method of cost-effective advertising. Do you guys have any tips on how to be the most effective using this avenue? As of not until recently, we were not using advertising just because not Facebook advertising, I'm sorry, just because of the way the advertising works. So Facebook was charging you per 1,000 impressions. And yesterday I went to set up a new ad, and you can now pay per click. So it's actually really awesome because right now on Facebook, you can actually pay 20 cents per click to get them over to your photo booth website versus on Google AdWords where you're paying $2 to $3 a click. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna cover that. Facebook is really good. Make sure you go in there, set up the right custom audiences, use all the features they have, like the lifestyle behavior, any type of special events in their lives, like weddings. Make sure you're targeting the right audience, age, the demographic. Make sure you're serving the ads within a certain area, and make sure you log in and you check it every day. See how your ads are performing and check on the conversions that you're getting onto your website. Okay, but it is a great way to advertise. Facebook is doing a lot of new features in their advertising program. So definitely check that out. I actually should add that to my way to advertise your business. Facebook is definitely, it's a little bit cheaper than AdWords. So that's something to look into. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We do have a special bonus for you for tuning in. So before you close out, just hang on, and we're going to let Will close it out for us.
All right, so because we also sell photo booths, not only are we the best rental company in the world, For this select group of viewers that's left, we're offering $500 off of any photo booth in our inventory for those of you that call within the next hour. And the phone number is 855-474-6868. Extension number 2 goes to our general sales department. And we do require a $250 down payment, but that's all. So $500 off any booth for the next hour. And it is, what time is it now, guys?
8:15.
It's 8:15. So until 9:15, all calls that come in or messages left on that extension 2, in case we can't reach you, leave us a message with your contact information in case we're on the other line. And that'll get you $500 off any of our booths for the next hour.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in to us. This is a monthly series. We're going to try and offer value. Send us your email to support@photoboothint.com on subjects you would like us to cover in the future. And we really appreciate you guys tuning in today. Damien, you have any last words?
Just want to appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you, and continue to stay abreast.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.